Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're tuning in today. We're going to be digging into a topic that, let's be honest, feels like it is literally everywhere right now. But we're going to break it down in a completely different way. Today is all about choosing the right AI. And our goal for the next few minutes is super simple, but honestly, it's a real game changer. We are going to learn exactly how to pick an AI based on the actual job it needs to do, rather than just falling for all the endless hype.
Okay, so let's just dive right in, because right out of the gate, we need to bust a massive myth. You hear this question all the time, what's the best AI? Well, asking that is actually a total trap. When people ask for the best AI, they're usually just looking for a quick shortcut to certainty. You know, kind of like asking what's the best smartphone, or what's the best car. But here's the thing, AI tools simply do not work that way.
Think about it like a toolbox in your garage. As our source material perfectly puts it, a hammer can be excellent and still be useless for the wrong job. We've really got to stop thinking of AI as this mystical, all-knowing oracle and start treating it like a collection of tools in a workshop. The right tool depends entirely on whether you're trying to cut, measure, drill, or polish. We have to completely flip our mindset from asking which AI is best in general to asking what specific job do I need this thing to do.
To really help make that mental shift, let's pop the hood. Section 1. Inside the pattern engine.
First things first, we need to stop thinking of AI as a magic brain. Strictly speaking, it's a pattern engine. At its very core, an AI just takes whatever input you give it, searches through a massive mountain of data to find patterns, and spits out something that looks useful. It is 100% dependent on what you feed it. Imagine walking into a tailor and asking them to make you a custom suit, but you absolutely refuse to give them your measurements. I mean, they might start cutting fabric, but the result is going to be a total guess, right? But give them precise measurements, and suddenly the outcome is reliable. AI behaves the exact same way with your prompts and input.
And when you actually compare human understanding to AI, a really massive difference starts to emerge. Human thinking naturally understands meaning, intention, and context. We get reality. AI, it doesn't do that at all. AI just predicts patterns based on vast amounts of data. It's kind of like a friend who has memorized a million conversations and is unbelievably good at guessing the next word in your sentence. But they don't actually know what they are saying in the way you or I do. This is exactly why an AI can sound incredibly smart and articulate without actually grounding its answers in reality.
Which brings us to a mantra you absolutely need to memorize. Seriously, write this down. Confidence is not the same as correctness. Because AI is fundamentally just predicting patterns, it is going to deliver its output incredibly smoothly and with total confidence, even when it is completely, spectacularly wrong.
So the absolutely crucial takeaway here is this: AI output is almost always a draft. It is not a final answer. Think of it like a rough blueprint of a building. It is absolutely brilliant at removing the friction of staring at a blank page, and it helps you see the overall structure. But come on, you wouldn't move your family into a blueprint, would you? No way! It's not safe to live in yet. You still need human verification, editing, and good old-fashioned judgment to actually finish the job. All right, moving right along to Section 2, Navigating Output Trade-offs. This is where we talk about balancing priorities, because these systems literally cannot do everything perfectly at the same time. Every single AI tool out there operates on a strict trade-off matrix between speed, depth, and reliability. There is no magical tool that gives you all three perfectly. If you prioritize speed, great, you'll get super quick drafts, but you're going to sacrifice depth and fact-checking. Now, if you want depth and rich nuance, it's going to take a lot longer and it won't be as simple. And if what you really need is absolute reliability and precision, well, you have to sacrifice the AI's creativity and flexibility. You see, you're never actually asking which tool is strongest. You're asking which of these trade-offs is acceptable for the job I'm doing right now.
Which leads us perfectly into Section 3, Matching Tool to Task. Let's take all this theory and put it into practice.
The real hidden superpower of choosing AI is being able to break down vague needs into highly specific jobs. Saying something like, "I need AI for work," is just tossing out a vague container. Work isn't a task, it's a giant category. Inside that container are the actual jobs: drafting emails, summarizing reports, answering questions, or analyzing spreadsheets. It's like telling a friend, "Hey, I need transport." Well, okay, are you going 2 streets over? Are you traveling all the way across the country? Or are you hauling a bunch of fragile glass? The journey dictates the vehicle, right? Well, the exact same rule applies here. The task dictates the AI. And broadly speaking, these tools fall into 4 specific shapes. First up, we've got language and thinking tools. These are awesome for taking messy thoughts and turning them into clear output, like drafting an email or brainstorming ideas. Second are search and retrieval tools. These are built specifically to dig up grounded facts and summarize documents you upload, so they don't just hallucinate creative, fake answers. Third, generation tools. These take your text prompts and spin them into actual images, video, or audio. And finally, analysis and prediction tools. You don't use these for eloquent writing, you use them for spotting trends and anomalies hidden inside thousands of rows of data.
Let's ground this whole toolbox concept with a real-world scenario. Picture a small online clothing seller. If they try to use just one single AI tool for their entire business, they are going to be incredibly disappointed. Writing catchy product descriptions? That's a language generation task. Reading and replying to an angry customer email? That takes language understanding. But what about summarizing weekly sales from a giant spreadsheet? That is strictly an analysis and retrieval task. If you try to use a creative storywriting tool to analyze your sales data or a strict data cruncher to write charming customer replies, it's going to be a disaster. The tool has to match the shape of the task.
And that brings us to our final part today, Section 4, Becoming an Informed Judge. This is the most crucial identity shift I want you to take away from this explainer.
To become that informed judge, we have to dodge the 3 major traps where people get totally tricked by the hype. Trap number 1, assuming that just because the AI answered confidently, it must be right. We know better now. Trap 2, believing that because a tool is heavily marketed as the most advanced on the market, it's automatically the best one for your specific problem. Not true. And trap 3, thinking that because a multi-purpose tool does a lot of things, it does everything perfectly. Remember, multi-purpose tools always come with those hidden trade-offs.
So whenever you're comparing different AI platforms, just remember this. A massive feature list or a really cheap pricing plan means absolutely nothing if the tool doesn't actually fit. Fit matters more than features. Does it match the specific kind of work you're doing? Does it actually produce usable output? Does it reduce friction in your day-to-day work? The absolute best tool for a software developer might be completely useless for a marketing manager. The choice always has to come from the job you're doing, not from whatever the crowd is hyping up on social media.
Which leaves us with the ultimate provocative question you should be asking yourself every single time you open an AI application. Don't ask, will this do everything for me? Instead, ask yourself, where does this AI remove friction, and where must my human judgment stay in control? If you can answer that, you have officially crossed the line from just being a passive consumer of AI to truly understanding it. You, my friend, are now the informed judge. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you in the next one.